And welcome to the All-Star Fragments episode. But first, I'm going to get one more of each of the two armor sets that we need. Because, you know, we can only do this once a day. So you can see that I started off using my amiibos, obviously. And I kind of actually got lucky here. I got both of them back to back. Of course, this did take a little bit of time. This did take a little bit of resetting until I got them. And I actually did get pretty lucky to get them both back to back. So that saved me some time at least. So, second chest. A lot of fishies. Nice. And there you go. Okay, now that we got both of those, now let's actually start getting some star fragments. And if you don't know where to get star fragments in this game, you can see here, I'm trying to remember which shrine it was. So you go to the top of Dueling Peaks, for anyone who doesn't know, what is, I believe, the best strategy to get star fragments in the game. I mean, clearly it works, since this is really all I do for this video. So, yeah, go to the top of Dueling Peaks, make sure you're nice and warm. I find out later that wearing the warm clothes kinda don't matter, since I would have a flame weapon on me for majority of the time. So pick up the apple real quick. Alright, go to the top of Dueling Peaks. Make fire. Would help to have some sort of hot weapon with you. Also, if you couldn't tell, obviously this is post me talking. Post commentary. I lost the words. Okay. So you make a night, and then you just look over the horizon and wait for star fragments. So, as you can see, I cut out all the waiting time for you guys. I even cut out loading screens for you guys too. You can also see here that I clearly wasn't paying attention. So, see how long it's taking me to notice? Come on, when's he gonna notice? Does he notice yet? Still hasn't noticed. Still hasn't noticed. There we go. So once you find a star fragment, you go and get it. And rinse and repeat. That was horrible. So yeah. I had over 3 hours of footage that I edited down just for you. You're welcome. 3 hours of footage of me trying to get the armors from the amiibos and then grinding all of these star fragments. I edited out all of the waiting time and load screens just for you guys. And also, 3 hours of that wouldn't have been fun to watch. It's not like this would be fun to watch anyways, because all I'm doing is just the same cycle over and over. Go back to the top of Dueling Peaks, make it nighttime, wait for star fragment, go get star fragment, and the cycle continues. And I did this 26 times. I did the math, albeit poorly, because, spoiler alerts, I actually miscalculated, and it turns out I didn't need 26, so I got more than I needed. I think I needed like just 22, but whatever. I got more than I needed. So, I don't really have anything specific to talk about today. You know, speaking of math, recently, my friends and I were talking, and I can't remember what we were talking about. We were talking about, like... Well, we were talking about math, or we were talking about stuff from high school. We were talking about my lack of intelligence, once again, and I was just like... Oh, please, you're asking me to remember that stuff? I barely remember fractions. Now, in hindsight, comparing or using fractions as an example probably wasn't the best choice. Because obviously I remember fractions. Man, I really don't remember what it was. I had someone a little while ago, maybe it was my cousin. I think it was my cousin. One of my cousins asked me, do you remember how to do this particular math? And I don't remember. I really don't remember. I don't even remember what kind of math it was. I don't know if it was calculus. I don't know if it was... I don't know. My friends asked me... So, wait, no. So I asked my friends, like, throw out a couple of math terms. Let me see if I can remember which one it was that I don't remember how to do. One of my friends threw out algebra, and I'm just like, what was algebra again? They're just like, holy shit, you don't even know, you don't remember what algebra is? And then they gave me an example, like, x plus this equals that, solve for x. I'm just like, oh, right, that's what algebra is. Of course I remember algebra, bruh, but I don't remember what I was asked if I remember it or not, because clearly I don't. Math was never my strong suit, you know? But whatever, I am years past high school math. You know, clearly I haven't been using it that much in my day-to-day life. How you guys doing? Like I said, I don't really have anything specific to talk about. You want to hear what happened to me today? So, aside from, you know, the day that I'm doing this voiceover, not the gameplay. I did the gameplay a couple days ago, and then it took me time to edit it down. So the day I'm doing the voiceover is, well, today was the Pikipek Community Day in Pokemon Go. And I didn't even look up how many shinies I got. The last time I checked, I had 9, but then I got way more than 9 later on. Well, regardless, while walking around, I saw a really hot cosplayer. And, of course, someone like me wasn't gonna do any sort of approaching, because, come on, it's me we're talking about. So, yeah. Fuck my life. I mean, come on, you guys know how I am. You guys have seen what I look like before. Ain't no even... It's not even worth me approaching, let's say that. Anyways, what did this girl even cosplay as? Well, she was cosplaying as Rem, but instead of the usual outfit that Rem wears, she was wearing, she was a very petite girl, a very thin girl, which, not gonna lie, I do like. But she was very petite, and she had a Christmas dress on, like a shoulder exposed, strapless Christmas dress with a Rem wig on, Christmas hat too, and you know that my favorite color is red. I like seeing the color red. Red clothes are attractive to me. Anyways, so yeah, I saw a very hot cosplayer today. But, you know, no such approaching happened. She was also with her group of friends as well. I'm gonna die alone. So anyways, was it here? No. I wasn't even paying attention to the footage this whole time. There is something that happens that I do want to point out when it happens. Because doing this method doesn't guarantee you a star fragment. There are times, that you will see, there are times when I did the whole process, I stood here waiting, and no star fragment happened. No star fragment came and fell. So sometimes no star fragments can happen, and what you do is you just reset. Make a day, then make a night again. And I made it a point to make sure I kept that in when editing. I am recording, right? Yes, I am recording. Just want to make sure. I don't want to be here in this empty, quiet room talking to myself, and only to find out I'm not even recording it. Part of me debated, do I even want to fast forward some of the footage of me going to collect the star fragments? But I decided, nah, it's okay. I already cut out all of the waiting time, all of the loading screens. 3 hours of footage, folks. 3 hours of footage cut down for your convenience. This is basically what I plan to do for the Koroks. And you know, speaking of the Koroks, so something might be happening soon that, hey, on the bright side, gives me plenty of time to record all of the Korok footage, even edit it down too. So something that might need to happen soon is, well, me taking a break from playing this game because I may need to go and get my wisdom teeth removed. And obviously, when my wisdom teeth are gone, I need the time to heal, and during then, I really shouldn't speak. I should move my mouth as little as possible. So at least, well, I first couple days, I should still be bedridden. But once I feel better, I can at least come down here to this room and actually record the footage of me collecting all the Koroks. Because not only is collecting the Koroks going to take a long time on my end, it's also going to take a long time to edit down all the footage too. So, who knows, maybe getting my wisdom teeth done somewhat soon is a blessing in disguise. Now, I am going for a consultation tomorrow, as of me recording this. Tomorrow morning, I got to go to the surgical place, because I am not being awake for this procedure. Hell no. Last thing I need is for them to attempt to remove rotten teeth, only for it to shatter. Last thing I want is for that to happen again. If you don't remember the story, I don't know, like 15 years ago, when I was a kid, I had, what, 3 cavities? They were so bad because I just refused to go and get them done, get them fixed. And they were also baby teeth, too. So, I had 3 cavities, and I prolonged going to the dentist so long, because I just didn't want to go to the dentist, that when I eventually went, it's been too long, the teeth had to go. So, when the dentist tried to use his pliers to remove the teeth, upon moment of contact, all three teeth, I should say, because plural, all 3 teeth shattered. They just popped, exploded. That's how bad the teeth was. And I don't need to go over in detail how painful it was to make sure there were no teeth shards on my gums. So yeah, last thing I need is for my teeth to shatter the moment they try to remove it again. Because my wisdom tooth, one of them at least, almost 6 years ago I got 2 of my wisdom teeth removed. Wait, hold on, what's going on here? Did I forget to edit this part out? Oh no, maybe I did. Did I forget to edit this part out? Why is this part not fading out? Why is this part not jumping to when the star fragment shows up? Maybe I did forget to. Well, you know what? If I did, then that's okay. Because as you can see, this is what the process is like. You just stand here and watch. Watch and wait for a star fragment to fall. So yeah, one of my wisdom teeth, I guess is rotting, but not really rotting, but it kind of has a cavity that's just getting worse and worse, to the point where I spat out a chunk of tooth twice now, so the tooth is completely falling apart. It needs to go. I was so disappointed. I am still so disappointed, because 6 years ago, when I got my wisdom teeth removed, I only got 2 removed. The bottom 2. I never got the top 2 removed. And I just knew that one day I'll have to go through the whole process again. Instead of just getting all 4 removed all at once and saving me the headache. Oh yeah, see, I did forget to edit this part out. But whatever, you get to see once what it looks like to actually wait for it. There was 3 hours of footage to go over, okay? Give me a break. And besides, I could stop this recording, go back in, edit that part out, but then I gotta say all of this again, and I don't really feel like saying all this again. Anyways, so, yeah, I just knew one day I would have to go through the whole process again. Like I said, I ain't being awake for it, so I got to go through the whole process of being put to sleep again, waking up dazed, waiting 2 weeks to a month for the recovery process. Because last time, if I'm not mistaken, it took me like a month to get better. Man, what sucks is the timing. This could not have been worse timing, because, well, right now it is, well, it's the last day of November, so borderline December. I have class. I start school again in January, albeit online classes. And the Pokemon DLC is coming out December 10th. Ah! The hell with my life, man, I tell you, folks. Okay, so, yeah, tomorrow morning I got a consultation. So I think what that basically means is we're gonna talk about it. They're gonna take a look, see how severe it is. Like, if it's a really bad case, then they'll push me up on the wait list, I think. Like, I have priority if it's an urgent matter, that kind of thing. And obviously, the consultation's not free. So, after tomorrow, we will then find out exactly when I'll be booked for the actual procedure. Like I said, I'm not happy about it. I'm not happy that I got to do this whole thing again. The reason 6 years ago why I didn't get all 4 removed at once is because my mom didn't let me. Because my grandma scolded my mom for letting my sister get all 4 removed at once. See, why did I cut that, you know? That didn't take that long. There is another point in this video where a star fragment does come down really quickly, where I decided, I don't want to edit that part out. It's like 10-15 seconds of waiting. So yeah, at some point soon I'm gonna have to get my wisdom teeth removed again. And then go through the whole process again of recovering. Hopefully I'll lose some pounds while I recover, because I won't really get to eat solid food. I'm gonna survive mostly on soup and congee. I don't love congee, you know, but I also eat it. I don't love it. It's kind of funny to see, like, where some star fragments land when you go and pick them up, because I landed in a tree. So, yeah, there's that. My teeth. Just why teeth? You know, what's funny is only one of my wisdom teeth is rotting right now, falling apart. And because I absolutely refuse to be awake during the procedure, absolutely not, I gotta go under. I'm falling asleep for that. And if I need to do that, I may as well get the other one removed too, because I still have both of them on the top. Now, my other wisdom tooth, there's nothing wrong with it. However, since I'm already doing the procedure, since I'm already gonna be asleep for it, I may as well get them both out. Despite one being completely fine. Because, same thing. I don't want to wait another who knows how many years, another 6 years, maybe 10 years from now. I have to do it all over again. Why not just get it all done at once? I mean, I'll be honest, these teeth have been nothing but a burden. Because food gets stuck back there all the time. And removing them, well, not really gonna miss them. They don't really serve much purpose anyways. God forbid the apocalypse ever happens and any kids need their wisdom teeth removed. But my dad, he doesn't want me to get both of them removed. He's saying, well, if only one's the issue, then just get the one removed. But I'm just like, I'm going to sleep anyways. Why not just get it done? Because just like when I got it done 6 years ago, now I gotta do it again. Why not just get it all done with and just move on? I don't want to do this again. I didn't want to do this a second time. But here we are. Time has come for me to get the procedure done again. Fuck! Well, enough talking about my teeth. So, last night on stream, I really don't know if I hallucinated this thing or not. Last night on stream, I saw an enormous house centipede crawling on the wall. One of the biggest house centipedes I've ever seen in my life. And I ran out to grab... excuse me. I ran out to grab my bug jar. You know, the jar I use to trap spiders, centipedes, other things that get into the house. And I use that to release them outside. Man, the moment I came back, it was gone. It was completely gone. And I have not found it since. For all I know, it's still crawling around somewhere in this room. I don't know, I think it'd be kind of funny if while I'm doing post-commentary right now, I see it, and I just get up to deal with it. And then there would just be a huge moment of silence just because I'm dealing with that. You'll just hear me in the background giving you guys updates. Hell, if anything, I would like for that to happen so that I can know where it is and I can actually get it done with. Anyways, how many star fragments have we gotten? We're not even halfway done. Christ. Been here sitting talking to myself this whole time, not even halfway done. You know, earlier today, my dad told me, be careful around the internet. That dangerous, vast place called the internet. You know, stuff like don't tell personal information to strangers online. It's like, no shit. Thanks, Dad. As if I didn't grow up with the internet as a thing, you know? When it comes to my parents, they were alive in a time before the internet, so to them, this, this worldwide concept is still something hard to grasp for them. But as someone who grew up with the internet, of course I know how dangerous the internet can be. So you don't need to tell me, don't share personal information on the internet. You know, don't meet up with strangers on the internet. Don't, don't fall for a girl telling you she likes you on the internet. It's like, wow, thanks for the sage wisdom, as if I didn't know this already. But as always, I have to say that my dad's just looking out for me. He's just looking out for what's best for me. I get it. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not even paying full attention to the footage anymore. I'm just doing my own thing. I'm resetting in Pokemon, trying to complete my Alpha Dex, and I'm on Instagram on my phone. Because not a whole lot of interesting stuff happens, I'm gonna tell you that. I know that's not great for me to tell you, that, oh, the footage you're looking at has nothing really special happening. But it's true. Not everything in this game is worth watching. Sometimes you just have to go through the process of grinding for what you need, and it's not fun. It's not entertaining to watch. Imagine how much worse it would have been had I not edited it down. So, tomorrow morning I gotta wake up early to get to my dentist appointment. My appointment is at 9:45 in the morning, so I gotta get up at 8 to prepare. Well, hope you guys enjoy me getting star fragments. Well, now I kind of ran out of things to talk about. Can that centipede show up so I can go and deal with it? There's only so many things I can talk about. I don't know how much background noise you heard earlier too. That was my sister leaving for the night. Sounds like she took the dog with her. You know, the more I think about it, the more I question, what does this man see in my sister? I question every day, why did this man marry my sister? Shit, if I was... I wouldn't go for her, I'll be honest with you. I know how my sister is. I certainly wouldn't go for someone like her. So... the way my sister acts, I really question, like, what kind of wife qualities does she even have? Now, I'm not trying to sound offensive or trying to generalize things, but like, my sister doesn't cook, she doesn't clean, she doesn't really do anything. The other night, when, frankly, I'll be honest with you, the other night when I was gathering all the footage you're seeing here, and you have to keep in mind, there's like 2 hours of waiting time. There's 2 hours of footage where nothing happens besides just waiting that I cut out for you guys. So, the other night while I was here doing this, just collecting, grinding, gathering star fragments, you know, it took a long time. So I didn't have time to do the other stuff that I usually do, like wash the dishes. Because I was here. I needed to be here and collect star fragments. So the other night I didn't do the dishes because I was here doing this. And well, no one else did no one else did the dishes. My mom was upstairs resting, my dad was in the basement with his friends, and my sister? Yeah, she didn't volunteer. I don't know, she would... I don't know, she just didn't do them. She finds the idea of her volunteering to do the dishes absolutely ludicrous. It's like, me do the dishes? Ha! You're crazy! It's like you expecting me to shovel the snow. You're absolutely crazy. So, my sister doesn't know how to cook. My sister doesn't clean. She even told us, too, that whenever she goes to have dinner with her husband's parents, like her husband's family, like, the family on her husband's side is what I should say. Whenever she has dinner with them, she doesn't volunteer to do anything, you know? She said the most she'll do is once she finishes dinner, she'll take the bowl, the plates, the utensils, put them in the sink, and just piss off afterwards. Now, bear with me. My sister's husband's brother's wife, she does the cleaning. She does the dishes. She does stuff. I don't know, wouldn't you as a parent be somewhat disappointed if your son marries a woman who doesn't do shit? And it's not just like that too, it's the other way around too. Wouldn't you as a parent be disappointed if your daughter married a man who doesn't do shit? You know, it goes both ways. So don't you go saying I'm being offensive. Because I think it was last night, or no, not last night, the other night, a couple nights ago. My sister's husband was here for dinner, and, you know, during dinner he would like to have a beer. He asked my sister, he asked his wife to please grab him a beer, and she first went to the fridge to take a look, no beer. So then he said, the beer is in the basement. She's just like, "Aw, but I gotta go downstairs to grab one. I don't want to go all the way down to grab you a beer." Now, obviously, I know there's more to a wife than just cooking, cleaning, and grabbing beers. But I'm just using these examples to say that, well, my sister, she doesn't really do anything, so it's like, kind of don't see why this guy even married her. And believe me, before you say there are traits to her that you don't know, she's my goddamn sister. I know her better than her husband knows her, at least at this point. You know, at home, I cook. I do the dishes, and if my wife asked me, if I had a wife, if my wife were to ask me to grab something for her, yeah, I'd do it. I wouldn't go, "Aw, but then I gotta go there to grab it for you." Whatever. She's married now, by all definitions that my parents give me, she doesn't need to do shit anymore. Which I find absolutely stupid. My parents act like now that she's married, she doesn't have to do anything anymore ever again. She's married now. She doesn't have to do shit. What was I talking about? What else was I talking about? So I'm barely halfway done with collecting the star fragments. Isn't this a fun video you're watching? If you actually made it this far, thanks. I appreciate it. I bet you not a soul is gonna make it this far. And I bet you even less are going to make it to the end. You know, I honestly could just leave the rest silent. There's nothing stopping me from doing that, but what fun is that, you know? You can also see by the in-game time, too, just how long I need to wait for some of these sometimes. Sometimes I get them right away. I gotta wait from in-game 9 p.m. to like 9:30. Rarely, but then sometimes I gotta wait until like 2 a.m. So the wait time does vary. Well, I have officially ran out of things to talk about. You know, going back to the teeth topic from earlier, I was telling my parents that we might need to consider the possibility that if timing really doesn't work out, then I might need to postpone me going back to school and me attending the classes. If timing really doesn't work. And, well, my parents, especially my mom, she just wasn't having it. She just wasn't hearing it. She's just like, you're going to go to school. You're going to attend your classes. There is no ifs. You will be fine. You will do your classes just fine. Your classes are online, and you're gonna be at home recovering. You're gonna be fine. And I'm just like, Mom, I know, but just in case. And she's just like, yes, but you'll be fine. She just wasn't having it. She just wasn't hearing it. You know, me personally, I don't see what the big deal is if I absolutely have to postpone my edumacation, you know? I just go to the school and say, hey, I already paid for the courses, but something came up. Can I either get my money back, which the school probably won't do, or can I have that money go towards the next time the class will be taught, like in the next semester? Because, hey, out of my control, something came up to where I can't attend the classes. I was just saying in case. But, you know, just wasn't having it. Wasn't even going to humor the idea one bit. Yeah, I've completely ran out of things to talk about. As if I wasn't... as if it wasn't... As if there was any doubt I would be alone during not only Christmas, but also New Year's. Well, if I were to do my wisdom teeth procedure just before, then definitely I would absolutely be alone. My life is a joke. You know, I doubt anyone from high school struggles as much as I do. And you know what I'm talking about. I doubt anyone has even a hint of mentality like mine. Wow, must be nice Damn, imagine living guilt-free. Couldn't be me. Already isn't me. Wow, living conscience-free. Conscious? Living conscience-free. Living guilt-free. Imagine being happy. Wouldn't that be nice? I don't know if any sort of doctor or therapist could ever fix someone like me. Well. Be a man, suck it up. Keep it all inside, that's what I've always done. Anyways, yep, yet another star fragment, and more. More! Must have more! How many star fragments does that make now? I'll see once I pull out my wood. Pause. I have 16. So, one by one, we're getting there. Oh yeah, take a look at this. So can't pass time while enemies are nearby. This will happen sometimes, but not to this level. I've never seen a bokoblin spawn from there before, and it actually knocked me off the mountain. Well, that was a big waste of my time. Let's try that again. You know, I saw a meme on Instagram earlier. It was Loki being captured by the TVA in the first episode. And the captions were just, "Me when I finally get a girlfriend." What did it say? I saw the same kind of meme too with, Across the Spider-Verse. It wasn't a canon event, so the universe disintegrates. Ah, here it is. When I finally get a girlfriend, but then the TVA pull up. I caused a branch in the timeline. I am burdened with glorious purpose. Well, that's one way to look at it. If I am destined to be alone my whole life, I am burdened with glorious purpose, it seems. And, you know, is it cringe? Is it pathetic of me to say that the more I think about it, finding love in this world may just be the one thing I've wanted for, like, the longest time. For the longest I can remember. How pathetic is that to say? Because I can remember, like, you know, I've had crushes growing up. I've had crushes on girls growing up. The first one I can remember was 2nd grade. And then I don't think I've ever stopped having crushes, because from 2nd grade I had a crush on one girl. From 3rd grade I had a crush on another girl. From 4th grade all the way to 7th grade I had a crush on a girl. 7th grade to 9th grade I had a crush on this girl, but then obviously none of it ever happened. None of it ever worked out. So looking back, it's kind of like, damn, I guess you could say that finding love in this world has been like something I've wanted for the longest I could remember. But I suppose it just wasn't meant for me. Whether I like it or not, whether I want that to be the case or not, it was just never meant for me, it seems. Yeah, my life is a joke. My life is pathetic. See, why do I always have this negative mentality? Why do I hate myself so much? I tell you why, because no one knows me better than me. No one knows the things I have done better than me. Obviously, because I did them. And I hate myself for doing them. Well, that got dark and depressing fast. Let's change up the topic, shall we? I don't have a topic to change to, sadly. Oh, you want to hear something else my dad told me in the car ride home today? He told me, son, do not ever, never ever find a girlfriend or, meet a woman. Be with a woman who has divorced, who has separated. Said a whole bunch of things in Chinese that I didn't completely understand, but I got the gist of it. Fatherly advice. As if someone in my position can be too picky, but then again, the things that he advises me to stay away from, well, it's not very common if I'm gonna be honest. It's not like I gotta actively avoid those when looking for someone. Oh yeah, take a look at this. So, you see how there's a thunderstorm right now? Obviously, I don't want to get struck. So, eventually, soon, very soon, waiting for the last possible moment, I put on the Thunder Helm. And I'll explain why this is significant in just a moment, after I pick up the Star Fragment. Damn, this Star Fragment is far. See why this takes so long? Not only do you have to wait for the Star Fragment, you actually have to get to it sometimes. A lot of them have been close, but in the case of, like, this one, yeah, it did take quite a while to get to. You can also see throughout the video that I'm avoiding all Yiga clan members, because these big ones, they don't drop rupees, so I don't bother fighting them. Excuse me. So yeah, so I put on the Thunder Helm, and you can see that with it on, I only have one cold defense. And so I don't remember when I figure it out. I start realizing, I don't really need to wear my cold resistant armor right now. Let's see, when do I figure it out? I figured it out here. I'm thinking, I could just put on my my outfit that I like. Because I have the flame spear on me, keeping me warm, so I could put on the outfit that I like. I could have done that the whole time. Oh well, doesn't matter. Another star fragment. Yippee. What's new in this video, right? Well, I just checked my Pokemon Go. I got 14 shiny Pikipeks today. I gotta say, I do like the shiny. The very vibrant, dark, hot pink on the head. I like that. You know, the Pikipek line hasn't really been a Pokemon line I really cared about at all. Toucannon is alright, I guess. I just never really cared for it. Ooh, look at those keys. Yellow and red keys. Yellow and red look nice together, don't they? You see things that are red and yellow together, and I don't mean Deadpool and Wolverine. The colors red and yellow really do look nice together, do they not? It's amazing how well my favorite color, red, pairs with other colors. Red and green, red and blue, red and purple, red and yellow. Red and orange, you know? The color red just pairs with things so nicely. You know, the other day my friends came over. Oh yeah, you see here that my Switch was about to fall asleep. The other day my friends came over. One of my friends, he just went on an Asia trip. He went to Japan, Hong Kong, etc. He got us a couple of souvenirs, and he got us some Beyblades. Because that's what grown men play with. Beyblades. He brought a couple of colors, and I immediately called dibs on the red one. He brought back not only a red one, but he also brought back a blue one, a yellow one, and a gray one with hints of purple. I don't know anything about I don't know anything about Beyblades besides, ooh, cool spinning tops. I never watched the anime, which I can't believe they made a full anime about spinning tops. Yeah, unlike Pokemon, I just never got into the actual quote-unquote story behind Beyblades. I just played the game. I also never got into Yu-Gi-Oh! I know growing up it was a big debate between Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! And clearly you know which one I chose. I don't know anything about Yu-Gi-Oh! Not one thing. Absolutely nothing about Yu-Gi-Oh! And I'm kind of worried that if I were to try to get into Yu-Gi-Oh! I would be overwhelmed. Imagine introducing someone to Pokemon now, with how many gimmicks there are, how many new Pokemon, how many things to learn. You know, I do think that's kind of interesting. I kind of want to see what happens. Like, genuinely. See what it's like for someone who never played Pokemon, never even heard of Pokemon, play the games for the first time, and slowly learn everything. Not only learn the mechanics, the concept, learn all of the original designs, but also learn, like, the history. Realize what they're playing right now. Oh, not every Pokemon is in this game? The game before plays completely differently and has completely different Pokemon? Ooh, I want to go back and see what that was like. Wouldn't that be interesting? It's kind of like me wondering, even though these are not remotely similar cases. You ever wonder what it would be like if you never learned numbers? If you never learned numbers, how would you function in life? Like, you just never learned the names of numbers. Oh yeah, also a blood moon happened here. I could have edited this out, but I'm just like, nah. Let's show that while doing this, a blood moon happened. Despite the fact that I didn't even fight off any enemies during this. At least I don't think so. But yeah, if you're someone who never learned numbers, how do you function? Because if you just simply get asked, how many are there? You're looking at a cluster of things, you're looking at something, and you get asked, how many are there? How do you respond? There's more than what? There are multiple. There is. You can't say any number because you never learn numbers. You can't say 2, you can't say 5, you just don't know numbers, right? You can't say more than 1 because you don't know what 1 is. How many fingers do you have? I don't know. I don't know what these are called. There's... Right? How do you say there's 5 of them without saying there's 5? You ever wonder what it would be like for someone who never learned numbers? But that's kind of impossible, because numbers are like the first thing we learn. I'm just rambling on now. I don't know what to talk about. How many star fragments does that make now? 20? Tell me it's 20. I can't believe I did the math wrong. I only needed like 22 and I went for 26. I don't know what I was thinking. Clearly I can't even do simple math. No wonder I'm single. Alright, let's see. How many star fragments do I have? 22. Almost done. And also, by the way, if it wasn't obvious, since I didn't mention it yet, you're gonna want wood. To grind for star fragments using this method, you're gonna want wood. So, hope you've been stocking up on wood this whole time. And also preferably a fire weapon. If not, hope you've collected not only wood, but also flint as well. And transition. The residents of Hyrule are asleep while Link is on top of a mountain looking over the horizon waiting for meteors to fall down. Would these be considered meteors? Because you know how... I think technically meteors and other objects in space come down to Earth all the time. It's just they burn up in the atmosphere. That when they actually land on the ground, they are extremely small because they completely burnt up. Wouldn't that just be like space debris? You ever wonder what would happen if another, like, extinction level asteroid were to strike the Earth? What do you think we as humanity would do? Do you think we'll nuke it? Wouldn't that just cause a lot of radiation out in space? I'm sure that would have some sort of ramification on us. You can make the argument, but it's out in space. The radiation's nice and far away from us. I'm sure it would affect us somehow. Do you think we'll nuke it, or do you think we'll send a ship out there to try to, steer it off course? Guide it somewhere else? I don't know why I just stood there. Took an arrow to the face, but okay. So once I'm done this, obviously I'm going to edit the voiceover with the footage. And while I wait for it to render, I'm going to have to go do the dishes. I don't want to toot my own horn, because frankly, there's no horn to toot, but that's besides the point. It's like, you know, sometimes I question, why is someone like me single? You know, I do the dishes, I cook, and that's about the only positives I could say about myself. And that being said, I'm reminded of just the multitude of reasons. The mountain load of reasons why I'm single. And I'm just like, oh yeah, that's right. How absolutely pointless of you to even question why you're still single. You know the reasons why. You know, a friend of mine almost came to me to talk about his relationship again. How it seems like it's falling apart again. And I'm just like, brother, this is like the third relationship you wanted to talk to me about it falling apart. It's like, what are you doing? You know, I can't help but see a pattern with you, bro. That every time you're in a relationship that seems happy and stable, you come to me a little bit later saying, bruh, it's falling apart. I don't know what to do. I'm just like, what are you doing? What are you doing in your relationships, man? You can't be this naive to not see a pattern, right? I don't know, man. He gets chicks and I don't. I mean, for one, he is much taller than me. You know, a friend of mine sent me a video on Instagram the other day. It was something like, women don't actually prioritize the body physique as much as you think. Like, they focus on the appearance on the head. You know, your face, your hair. They focus on the appearance of how you look, not as much as your body shape. So you can be fat like me, or you can have a rock-hard six-pack, and according to the video, it's the face that matters more, your appearance. Well, if that is the case, no one's still ever gonna show any interest towards me, you know, this direction. You know, I thought about something. Just another hypothetical scenario in my head. Another dream scenario, fantasy that would never play out. Ugh. I thought about, what if someone from back then, from elementary or high school, actually did have interest in me, but hypothetically just never told anyone, never pursued me, never anything, right? Nothing ever happened. And I was running the scenarios like, what if someone said they fumbled me? Of course, that's just a fantasy that will never actually happen in real life. Someone saying they fumbled me. I would probably stop this person dead in their tracks and be like, whoa, 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 let's get one thing straight. Ain't nobody ever fumbling me. Alright, let's be clear about that, because ain't nothing to fumble. This is me we're talking about. I don't know what's wrong with me. You know? Well, never mind, scratch that. There are so many things wrong with me. See, I don't like the way I am. I don't like living like this, but my mind is just like this. So much negativity and venom towards myself. I don't like living this way. I don't want to live this way, but what can I really do? Oh, look at that. I just saw we're on 25, so we're about to be done. This will be the very last star fragment we collect in this video. Thank God. Not only did I have to sit through collecting all of these star fragments for real, I also have to go through the footage, edit it down, and now I'm watching it over and dubbing over it. Anyways, last one. Oh, wait, that's right. This last one, there was no transition because this one happened quite fast. So I decided, screw it, just let it play. We're gonna keep it going. How nice of the game to somehow know. The last one I was gonna go for was this one, so it gave me it quick. And look at that, this is one in a location we haven't gone to before. Right there in the water, too. Or almost right at the water. If only games could load that quickly. A part of me doesn't see why games can't be like that. Load that quickly. But I get it. Games are only getting bigger. They have more data in them, more data. So they need a moment to load in all the assets. But I feel like in present day, we should be able to make games load in a snap, right? Anyways, look at this. Isn't this a nice visual while I descend to my star fragment? A nice dragon ascending. Not the move Dragon Ascent, which is a flying type move, as stupid as it sounds. Alright, that's the last star fragment that I was gonna go for. And like I said, I actually collected more than I needed. You know, originally my plan was to not collect more than I needed, just collect how many I did need. You remember when I grinded for the dragon parts, I collected one more just to have in my inventory? I wasn't going to do that this time. So here you see me completely screw up the bloopy, and I was about to reload, but then I noticed that is way too far. So never mind. I guess I lost a bloopy, but hey, the second one's still here. Damn you, autosave. You never do me any justice. You never do me any favors. And as always, collect the stuff around the fairy fountain. And you betcha, before we end, we're gonna use the star fragments we so painstakingly collected to upgrade our armors. And I did not cut any of this out. So you are gonna sit here and watch me use all the star fragments I collected for their purpose. Yep, that's this game. Sometimes this game is long and boring. But you know what? It won Game of the Year, didn't it? Doesn't time fly just too fast? This game is almost 10 years old. It won Game of the Year almost 10 years ago. How crazy is that? Obviously, if you're watching this in the future, it hasn't been 10 years yet. Almost. But if you're watching this in the future, then doesn't that just drive the point home even more? Because you're beyond 10 years of this game's release. So doesn't time just fly that quickly? So many armors to collect. To collect? To upgrade. I said collect because I was thinking about the fact that I was able to collect the star fragments fine and quickly. You know, quote unquote quickly, efficiently. However, the other materials I need, like the ancient cores, yeah, there is no method to do those quickly and efficiently. It's just save in front of a guardian and keep resetting until you get some. I don't know what I'm gonna do for those ones. I think next time I'll probably... Gee, I don't know what I'm gonna do next. We'll see. We'll see what I decide to do next. Oh, can you imagine? I know people shit on YouTubers saying that they have such a hard job, it's not as easy as it seems. Well, you know, the people who post every single day, they have to record for hours, they edit for hours, and sometimes, like in this case, they may need to dub over and then still continue to edit. Now, obviously, that's not as hard as a 9 to 5, like an actual job, but still, just doing one of these, imagine doing this every single day. Yeah, it's not easy, but it certainly is easier than a 9 to 5. Are we done yet? Even I'm saying, are we done yet? Yep, we're almost done. So, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you guys next time for more Breath of the Wild. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Goodbye.